What is sexual assault?
I think it's a lot of picking on other girls' bodies, you know?
Publicly, it's just a form of embarrassment.
Guys catcalling girls.
It's wrong.
It's not a good feeling. It feels like you're only being looked at and not as an actual person.
In this growing world of technology, there's a lot we need to worry about in terms of sexual assault. A person sexually assaulting another can range from something simple like catcalling them while walking down the street, to messaging them anonymously online, to rape. But why do people think that in some situations sexual harassment is okay?
I think the number one thing is miscommunication between people. I think people misread signs and think one thing means another thing.
It's when we make it this taboo subject, when we make it this subject that is both shameful and something that you should think about all the time.
Maybe looking at the wrong things as examples of how to handle it. Like, I don't know if there are movies or media or whatever, but looking at the wrong things and taking the wrong messages from those things and how to act.
Sexual assault doesn't just occur between men and women either. It's important to know that this kind of assault and harassment also occurs between men to other men and women to other women.
When people think of sexual assault, they think about guys catcalling girls, and they think about rape and stuff like that.
It comes from both. It can come from anyone. Like, it's more common that it would be from like a guy to a girl, but it definitely, I can see it coming from anywhere, or like anyone, meaning to both genders.
So the problem with sexual assault is huge, but not all the time it's taken seriously. A lot of times people who don't understand the problem might joke about it.
I definitely have friends who have been sexually harassed and assaulted, and jokes about it definitely hurt them and bring back awful memories.
It just is not something you want to joke around.
Jokes about sexual assault can affect others by really damaging them psychologically. Like, they can think that they're not adequate.
You need to be able to talk about those controversial things in a mature fashion, not to cause people to blush, not to cause people to feel uncomfortable.
And although sexual assault is so huge, there's a lot of ways to prevent it from happening. And a lot of those things, most everyday citizens are capable of doing.
What do you do if a friend gets sexually assaulted?
I would definitely probably yell at the person assaulting them and get in contact with an adult.
To be honest, it's hard to tell anybody how to completely avoid sexual assault, since sexual violence isn't just like the stomach flu or other preventable viruses. The only true way to prevent sexual assault is for the aggressors to choose not to harass or assault. For the rest of us, there are some overall ways to help prevent sexual assault and to respond effectively when it does happen.
What is consent? What is consent in the terms of a relationship?
Consent is like being able to tell what your partner is comfortable with.
The presence of a yes, whether that is body language or verbal.
Body language or with actual words.
It's definitely not the absence of a no.
So if you're going in to kiss them and they turn their head, obviously they're not into it at that moment, so just back up a little bit.
It's not consent if one of the partners is drunk or unwilling to do it or unsure.
But if they're giving you the body language or like they're responding back to you, then obviously they're okay with it. You don't have to ask every time.
Consent is a big deal, and getting consent from anything can mean the difference whether or not someone is a perpetrator. So, get consent for everything no matter what, and be an ally. If you see someone being harassed, contact law enforcement. We outnumber the aggressors, and the only reason sexual assault thrives is because it's not acknowledged as a huge problem. To spread awareness to the problem, all we need to do is talk about it.
essential of you and me. It's like a book elegantly bound.
So sex is both revered as like this kind of untouchable thing that we should only do if, you know, God is present or whatever, I don't know. Or it's also a thing that people view with such callousness that it's completely ridiculous. So I think teens are getting this mixed message from
the recipients of the catcalling. That's what I think. And I think that it perpetuates a certain energy that is almost feels like bullying, because there's really no appropriate or perfect response. It's like a no-win situation.
Right. And it's not a